Item A16.
Chair Hartman and members of the board. Item A16, also sponsored by our chair this morning. This is to adopt a resolution proclaiming the month of February 2017 as Black History Month in Santa Barbara County. And I think coming to the podium is Wendy Sims-Moten, who is going to have some words for us, and then we'll be presenting the resolution in just a few minutes. And Lori.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair Hartman, members of the board, colleagues, and community members. As you know, my name is Lori Gentles, and as the first African-American Human Resources Director for the County of Santa Barbara, it is a great honor for me, along with the Office of Arts and Culture, and on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, to recognize Black History Month Celebration 2017. So before I begin, I'd like to recognize the community partners that continue to support and help make this celebration special. I'm not sure if they're all here, but the Endowment of Youth Committee, Visions of Hope, Santa Barbara Poet Laureate Sojourner Kincaid Rowe, Leslie Robinson Stone, Diane Bogus, and Wendy Sims-Moten. So Black History Month began as Negro History Week in 1926 when U.S. historian Carter G. Woodson announced the second week of February to be the week of celebration. This week was selected because it coincided with the birthday of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Emphasis was placed on encouraging the coordinated teaching of the history of American blacks in the nation's public schools. In 1976, the expansion of Negro History Week to Black History Month was officially recognized by the U.S. government. President Gerald Ford urged Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans throughout history. At Santa Barbara County, we are committed to public service and social equity mission, and we strive to set a positive tone and example of inclusion of all people, embrace diversity of talent and contribution in all areas, and ensure equality, access, and opportunity for the underserved, underrepresented, and marginalized populations. That is why it is apropos to take the time this morning to recognize and celebrate African American heroes that, through their gifts, their talents, and their sacrifice, have paved the way for so many. People like Samuel Kuntz, an international leader in transplant surgery, who performed more than 500 kidney transplants. He was the head of surgery at the Downstate Medical Center and chief of general surgery at Kings County Hospital, both in Brooklyn, New York. Samuel was also responsible for developing drug therapy to reserve the acute rejection of a transplanted kidney. Miranda Smith, who was a labor organizer who joined over 7,000 Black men and women to organize Local 22 of the Food, Tobacco, Agricultural, and Allied Workers of America. She worked to improve the lives of working conditions of Black and white workers in the South. And Garrett A. Morgan, who was an inventor who developed the automatic stop signal and sold the rights to General Electric Corporation. He also invented the inhalator, better known as the gas mask, which saved thousands of lives and brought him national honor when the U.S. government awarded him the gold medal. So these are just a few, but the list is long, varied, and growing, and it includes leaders in science, education, politics, philosophy, religion, government, law, medicine, literature, poetry, and music. And speaking of poetry and music, in a moment, we will enjoy a short video presentation and vocal performance of Lift Every Voice and Sing. This song is often referred to as the Black National Anthem and was originally written as a poem by James Weldon Johns and performed for the first time on February 12, 1900, by 500 Florida school children in celebration of President Lincoln's birthday. The poem was set to music and adopted by the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP, and it is its official song. It is one of the most cherished songs of the African American Civil Rights Movement. So here to introduce our vocalist is Wendy Sims-Moten, Santa Barbara County Business Manager for First Five and Education Initiative, and she is also the first African American member of the Board of Education for the Santa Barbara Unified School District.
Thank you, Lori, and Chair Hartman and members of the board. I'm here and an honor to introduce Mr. Sims, who will be our vocalist in leading our song, Lift Every Voice and Sing. Mr. Sims has been a resident of Santa Barbara County for over 50 years. He comes from a line of first. His mother was the first African-American hired by the Santa Barbara Police Department. His sister was the first African-American banker in Santa Barbara, and he was the first community relations director of the city of Santa Barbara, helping to usher in the Franklin Neighborhood Center. His family also founded the Lewis Chapel Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. The words of the songs are in your program. You should all have a program. If not, we'll make sure you have one. They're in your program. We ask that you join in our tradition of standing and sing along with us. So please let us welcome Mr. Sims. Everyone stand and we'll play the video.
Thank you. I would like to introduce the person who's going to help me sing this song is Bernice Garrett. Bernice, come down. Okay, thank you. In the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat and not a weary feet, come to the place for which our Father sighed. We have come over the way with the tears that been washed. To the blood of the sword, out of the gloomy dark, till now we stand and land, where the white gleam of a bright star is there. shadow beneath thy hand. May we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land. Thank you.
At this point in the program, 1st District Supervisor Doss Williams and 2nd District Supervisor Janet Wolf will present the resolution proclaiming February as Black History Month. The resolution will be followed by a reception in the Board of Supervisors conference room. Thank you.
Wendy, do you want to come on up? I'll read the resolution into the record. Whereas February is recognized as Black History Month throughout the United States, and the Association for the Study of African American Life and History has selected the Crisis in Black Education as the 2017 National Black History Month theme. Whereas this annual theme brings attention to the crucial role of education in the history of African Americans, as well as the consistent barriers that deny access to an education for many individuals today. Whereas the founder of the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, Carter Woodson, understood the implications associated with the denial of access to knowledge and made it clear in his writings that only when African Americans were taught that they have accomplished as much as good as any other race would they aspire to equality and justice without regard to race. And whereas the push for inclusion of Black history in curriculums demonstrates incredible tenacity and organizing power. And whereas African American communities continue to persevere and resist the crisis in Black education, and it's our responsibility to prioritize and address this crisis as one of the most important goals in America's past, present, and future. Now, therefore, be it hereby ordered and resolved that the Board of Supervisors proclaims February 2017 as Black History Month in Santa Barbara County and calls on all residents to celebrate with appropriate ceremonies and activities. Passed and adopted today.
Again, Chair Hartman and members of the board, and to each of you that are in attendance today, thank you so much for continuing to support Black History Month and recognize it in the county of Santa Barbara. I accept this resolution along with members of the community who have had great contributions, as well as those who were not able to be here today, as well as those who are no longer with us. I think of Black history not only as a celebration, but as an educational opportunity, and also can serve as inspiration to Black Americans, African Americans, to all Americans, because we don't often see in history inspiring things, as you could see in the video there, that it really brings up emotion. And I know that I stand here today because of the struggles, the courage, and just the sheer determination to succeed as African Americans and be held as equal. So I appreciate, I salute and honor those who continue to do that on the front. I also want to think about it as being an inspiration, and sometimes Black history feels like it's a current event because there's so many things you don't know what's happening. For a case in point, with the Hidden Figures movie that was recently coming out about the 4 African Americans and any other African American women that were the computers who actually put this spaceship into space. And just to, you sit back and you wonder in amazement, but you don't know all the people who are contributing to that effort. I mean, all this time I thought you had to be like Mike to fly, but I didn't know I just need to stay in math class and be able to do that, So I just want to appreciate that and feel that it's really important that we continue to do this. And I appreciate that, and I take full responsibility and honor as being the second, actually, African American in 47 years for the Santa Barbara Unified School District. So I take that honor, I take that with pride, and I take it with full responsibility and with full commitment. So thank you again for continuing to support Black history in the county of Santa Barbara. Thank you.
Thank you for such a powerful and inspiring presentation. Please join us now in the boardroom for a reception. We'll recess for about 15-20 minutes.